Hey guys, today is finally the day where I got my electric skateboard from Electric Board Solutions. So today I'm going to show you the assembly video of my semi do-it-yourself board. Therefore I'm in my garage or workshop. Later on, if you guys are interested, I can show you more details about my workshop. At the moment it's pretty messy as we are still renovating our house, so I'm not showing you any details today. So today we are going to concentrate ourselves on the board. So I'm going to set up my camera over the workbench so that you can see all the stuff I'm doing, and then we're gonna have a closer look at all the parts I got from Frederick so we can check them out and see what we got inside the package. So here we are. After around 3 weeks before my first contact with Frederick, my board finally got shipped. We planned out all the details. He asked me what I would like my board to be, and then we discussed together which part would be the best for me. So we choose some awesome parts and put together this pre-assembled do-it-yourself kit. So today I'm going to show you first everything I got. The unboxing had already been taken. I did it during my lunch break at the office. I could not wait until the afternoon to unpack all, so there's no classical unboxing like you have seen on other videos, but I arranged all the parts here to show you what I got. So first of all, I got a carbon enclosure. It's made out of ABS plastic, and then Frederick put on 2 layers of carbon fiber to make it really nice. It looks awesome. It's very durable and it will hold all the electronics in place safely. Then we have the board itself with caliber trucks, and I got the awesome ABAC 11 flywheels in green with orange rims, as you can see, titanium bearings from Mosaic. The board is a no-name board Frederick ordered in China. In my eyes it's really good quality. It looks really nice. It's made out of bamboo, and I think that they will have lots of fun with it. Frederick was so kind and already inserted the inserts where you can screw in the screws that hold the enclosure with all the electronics. I got a sealed motor from METR.AT. It's a 6347 sensored one, so the motor is sensored. That's always a good sign in my eyes. It's a better quality than the uncensored motors. I already mounted the Shredlights during the lunch break, so I will probably do another review just about the Shredlights for those who are interested in the lights. And then I have a METR.AT controller with 2 modes. It has one mode that delivers 70% of the output and one mode that delivers 100% of the output. You can program it, so maybe I will do also a video about all the programming stuff of the board that one can do. Then the brain of the board, the fog box from Inertian. There are several other VESCs out there, but in my eyes the fog box is one of the best. You can plug via USB to the computer and then you can program all the stuff. This little guy here is the connection module for the remote. And then I got from eSkate Italy, I got this little Bluetooth module to connect the board to the METR.AT app. This one connects to the fog box. Later I will show you how it's done. And then we have the anti-spark. This is the module that is being connected between the BMS and the fog box with the on and off switch, and LCD that shows you how much juice you got left in the battery. Then the battery itself, it's a 10S4P made out of 40 Samsung 30Q batteries. The Rose ones, high quality batteries, nice cells. And I got the BMS here. This one is a pretty basic BMS. It only controls while charging, not while discharging. Therefore the fog box is responsible so that it cuts off at the right voltage and you don't discharge your battery too low. Here you have the connector for the charger to charge up the board. I will have to cut these wires off to fit the charger port into my enclosure. Then he got me 2 extra spare belts, which are always good to have if a belt breaks down, so you always have replacements. I have different pulley mounts that can be screwed onto the wheels, because he also sent me some orangutan Kegel wheels, because I wasn't sure if I want to be driving always with the big flywheels or if I prefer the Kegel wheels. So I got 2 mounts so that I don't need to screw them off every time I want to switch the wheels. Here's the can where the mosaic titanium bearings were inside. Then I got some nice ABAC 9 bearings with an included spacer, as you can see. Then here are the screws to hold the enclosure in the board. Frédéric shipped normal steel screws, but I changed them to these stainless steel screws, so in my eyes it's better to always have stainless steel hardware. And then I got a charger that charges up the battery pack with 2 amps. That's also good to have. It's like a regular laptop charger. And that's about it what I've got. So the main thing is now to fit everything perfectly in the enclosure. I will need to drill a hole for the on and off switch, and later on I will also cut a hole for the LCD. Today I won't be doing this because I want to get out and take the first ride with the board, because in the evening they announced rain and I want to drive it today. So in another video I will show you how I cut out the hole to fit in the LCD screen. So I just wanted to tell you the internet site of Frédéric where I purchased the board. It's electricboardsolutions.com. It's a bit confusing because his email address is electriclongboardsolution, and on Instagram he's called eboard_solutions. So I will post all the links beneath the video so that you can find his shop, and there you can also find his phone number. He's really a responsive guy. I was talking to him via WhatsApp, and we always had very good contact. So he also has a blog where he posts all basic stuff about electric longboards. So maybe you can check that one out as well if you have more questions. Normally everything should be answered over there. So what we will be doing today is trying to fit all the electronics inside the enclosure. I need to drill one more hole for the on and off switch, and then we will see how we will organize everything inside it. So first of all I'm going to place the battery inside. This one's pretty huge with the BMS. So the wires, they will go first they will go underneath the enclosure, and Frédéric told me that he ordered some plastic inserts with sealings to drill the holes inside the enclosure so that the wires can go through, but that's only aesthetical in my eyes. It doesn't have any impact on the functionality of the board. So I'm going to put all the cables together now. So as you can see here in the black thing as the BMS, then you have the anti-spark system. This one's pretty good, because otherwise every time you connect your charger to the board there will be a big spark flying, and then you have the fog box module, so the brain of the board. And then to the fog box we are going to connect the Bluetooth module for the METR app. This one just plugs in here. It's pretty easy. And then I will have to solder this one off to put it through the hole. And then I think I'm going to do another hole here on the side for the on and off switch. And then next to this one I will place, later on I will place the LCD switch, the LCD with the battery indication. So I will leave some space, and then the on and off switch will come about here. And this one also has the battery in place then. So I'm going to drill a hole for the on and off switch. It's a pretty big drill. So that's done. And then what's really important is that you use Loctite on all the screws. Yeah, I got Loctite medium, so that the screws don't unscrew themselves during driving or riding, because with all the bumps, screws without Loctite tend to loosen themselves. So the switch just is stuck in there, you can pull it out. And then when I put in my LCD screen, I will also seal up all the holes I cut in here to make it more or less waterproof again. But today, as it's perfect weather conditions, I don't need it. And I want to take the board for a spin before the rain comes. So I'm going to center it. Looks pretty nice. So I have enough space to put my LCD screen next to it. And then the next thing, I'm going to disconnect all the parts. It's important that you always disconnect your fog box while working on the board, because if you provoke a shortcut, it could damage your fog box. So make sure to unplug it. So Frédéric forgot to put some heat shrink tube on these before welding them together, so or soldering them together. Therefore you use this tape, but we will do this properly now. I hate painter's tape. I really hate that stuff, Frédéric. Painter's tape is not made for electric skateboards. So I'm no soldering expert, but this isn't a really difficult job. So now I will fit the charging port inside. And then you can screw on the little nut here. So this one sits nicely in place. Now we gotta use the right diameter of shrink tube. Got lots of different sizes, but I think this one will fit well. So there are a lot of skateboard builders that glue in everything. I'm not a big fan of it, because recently I had a board here of a friend who we were trying to fix, and if everything is glued in, it's always difficult to remove the stuff. Frédéric told me he isn't a friend of gluing stuff in as well, so I'm trying to fit everything in nicely, and then I'm gonna use some foam, some hard foam, to place everything in place. So now I'm just gonna solder these two cables together, and then normally we can start assembling everything. I'm going to take you for a first test ride today, and I'm going to test it when the weather gets better, and I'm going to do a longer video of the board outside once I figured everything out, once I know if it rides smoothly. And normally in the next weeks I should also get a METR.AT board from Kieran, and then we can do a comparison of a good budget pre-built board and in my eyes already pretty high-end custom board. Oh, this is nicely soldered. And we take the heat gun, shrink the tube. And we're gonna do the other cable. So normally this should be everything that we need to solder today. You can switch off the soldering iron, and then we can put in the rest of the electronics. The enclosure is not really big, so you need to play a bit around to see how you best put in all the stuff. check if it works. Battery indication always takes a bit of time until it reaches the end position. I charge up the board during my lunch break, so it's completely fully charged. Took me about 3 hours to charge it from 40% to 95-96%. So the on and off switch works perfectly. It's really nice and green with the carbon. Now we just have to put in the fog box. The display I'm going to disconnect. As I told you, I will do another video where I show you how I put in the display. I don't need it at the moment. Over the METR app you can always check the battery level, so you don't really need the display. It's a cool feature to have, but it's not necessary. I prefer the METR app, but I also want to be able to check it if I don't have my mobile phone with me, because if you are going for a ride you don't always want to take all the electronics with you, so you enjoy just riding and not having to check your phone every 5 minutes. So I can take back the board. The main advantage if everything is glued in is that you can flip it around without having any troubles. But I'm trying it like this now. We'll see if it will work or not. But I think that it will also work like this. So now you just have to connect all the wires. Frédéric was so kind to label them in the right color, so I only need to connect the green one to the green one, the blue one to the blue one, and the gray one to the gray one. I have to see if this fits. So I think this will fit. Now I will just use some tape to hold everything in place, so that I can switch it around without all the stuff falling out. First I will just use a old cleaning towel to hold everything in place. And after my first test rides now, when everything works fine, I'm going to cut some foam that will perfectly fit. Maybe then I will glue in the components to make sure that that they stay in place. But for the moment I prefer not to glue anything in, so that I don't lose too much time if I have to reopen it to check what the problem is. So I use regular duct tape. Duct tape is always a good choice. And then you're gonna make sure that all the wires are one next to the other, so that you don't squeeze them too much. Then we can already start screwing. So I have these stainless steel bolts, and I'm using washers. I'm using these washers so that they don't unscrew themselves too easily. If I'm sure that everything is fine, I will also use Loctite on these ones. And first I'm going to insert all of them, and then I'm going to start fastening them up. You got to pay attention that you don't fasten them too much, otherwise you can damage your board if they or if the screws are too long. They can pop out at the top of the board, and that would be pretty annoying. We had that with the board of my friend, and then the grip tape is ruined. That's something you don't want. So finally I managed to get all the screws in. So as I told, don't tighten them too hard. And I think that in the board nothing is moving around. It's pretty tight. So maybe I don't need the clothes. I will have to see if I'm using the towel next time or not. So the switch ignites. That's very important. And then you have to connect it to the remote. You have to push the button down for about a second. Now it's connected. I'm gonna check if the motor runs. Brakes are working. Sounds perfect. So I'd say I will tighten up my caliber trucks a bit more because they are very loosened, and then we can go for our first ride on my brand new electric skateboard. Just gonna show you how the lights look like. So in the rear I got red lights, and in the front I got white lights. So that looks pretty awesome. As a flashlight guy, lights on a board like this should not be missing. So I will put on my protection gear, and then we will see each other outside for the first test ride. Well guys, we're outside. The weather still holds, but I think it will start raining soon. The board is ready. The remote is connected. Brakes are working fine, I guess, so we can take the board for its first ride and test how it's gonna perform. Acceleration is very smooth. If I want to go full speed now, it's quite fast. I'm going to measure with my watch. I'm going to drive to a little spot where we can drive safely, where there are no cars. Brakes are working fine as well. So it's really an amazing feeling when you can first drive or ride your electric skateboard. Well, here we are. What I did not tell you is that I already Loctited all the bolts from the motor, so that I won't got any problems here with screws that will unscrew themselves, because that's pretty dangerous if you're driving that fast. So first I'm gonna do a little reconnaissance run, and then we're going to take the board to full speed. It's already raining a little bit, so I'm going to head back soon, and then I'm going to put in the LCD video. So my watch is ready, I connected it. It's not easy with one hand. So top speed was 35 kilometers an hour, but the bot can do about 40 km an hour, so I'm gonna test that once more. top speed was 39.3, so Frédéric did not lie. The board runs around 40 kilometers an hour, so that's pretty nice. And I'm going back to my workshop and I'm going to install the LCD, so that next time the weather is nice I have my battery indicator in the board. I hope you liked this video. If you want to see more, please make sure to subscribe my channel and give me a thumbs up, because every like counts, and if I have more likes, maybe we will get some more cool boards to review. See you soon. Bye.